this huge weather change headed our direction. We're expecting a hot day today and a smoky one here across the Front Range. Visibility is going to be really low. We also have air quality alerts that are in effect. And then this potent cold front arrives tonight. And that is going to be bringing in some very big changes that we've been talking about for several days now here onto the Front Range. And it does still include a chance for some snow. So let's go ahead. Here we go. Go ahead. Turn that down. Let's go ahead and get into it and talk about what we've got going on. We're going to start off with the haze first. That haze right now all across the Front Range, and it even extends up into the high country. That's a live look at Horsetooth Reservoir. The sky looks orange from this picture. It likely has to do with some of the settings that we have out there, but also because of the tremendous amount of smoke that we have pouring onto the Front Range from the Cameron Peak fire. It is going to be with us through the day. Visibility will be extremely poor as we go into this afternoon. We have air quality alerts that you can see here that are in effect until 4 o'clock today. They cover the entire Front Range. So Fort Collins, Greeley, Denver, and they extend out to our west into our foothills. What this means is that air quality is going to be poor and unhealthy for just about everyone. At some points during the afternoon, you want to limit your time outside today. Visibility will be extremely poor. And we've got an action day alert in effect. So that just means you want to limit your time outside. You want to combine the errands into one car trip and try and do what we can to not contribute to the poor air quality that's already going on because of the wildfires. I mentioned a hot day ahead. Highs will reach about 92 today, 91 Greeley, 90 for Fort Collins. If you are in southeast Colorado, you're getting close to 100. Mountain areas in the 70s and 80s today. This will be our last day in the 90s before this big temperature shift. But if we get there, then that would bring our total to 73 days at or above 90 degrees, which ties the record last set in 2012 of 73 90-degree heat days. We could still see one or two maybe later this month, but the later and farther that we get into September, those chances for 90-degree heat days go down. And as we've been talking about, huge change in the weather pattern headed our way. This is what the radar screen looks like right now. The only reason it's colorful is because of all of the winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories that we have in effect for much of the state. Now, if you're along the Front Range and out to our west, that's where we're going to get most of the snow. Eastern Plains, it'll be more of a rain-snow mix for you. That's why you don't have any advisories that have been issued. We're not looking at much in the way of accumulation out on the far eastern plains tomorrow. That cold front still well off to our north, but it is bringing rain showers to parts and now snow showers to parts of Montana and the Dakotas. And look at how extensive those warnings are. All the red and the blue. Those are the winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories that we have in effect, stretching from parts of Montana down through Wyoming into the Nebraska Panhandle and across Colorado. So this is a strong system that will be moving in, and it'll be approaching northern parts of the state late tonight. I've got this stopped at about 2 a.m. On the north side of that front, you can see the cold weather and temperatures in the 30s. And then on the south side at 2 a.m., we can even see really warm weather down around Springfield at 80, and our temperatures will begin to plummet as that front moves through. Ahead of the front is going to be some extremely gusty winds. So we've got this temperature change that will go from really hot weather to pretty unseasonably cold temperatures. That's helping to create some really strong wind across and along this front. So tonight, as you're going to bed, it might get really noisy. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw at least some damage from these wind gusts that could be between 45 to 55 miles per hour, stretching from Fort Collins into Greeley down into the Denver metro area and even eventually Castle Rock. Those winds expected to be very strong ahead of the front. Behind the front is where we have this chance for snow, and it's going to start first as rain because we will be warm enough that as those showers, the moisture moves in, it'll be rain to start around midnight through Fort Collins, Greeley, in the Denver metro area. But after 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it becomes more of a rain-snow mix. Temperatures continue to fall, and then all snow likely between 4 and 5 a.m. So before many of you get up in the morning, and then it'll stay snow falling consistently here across the Front Range through the afternoon and into the evening. Now we'll get some lighter bands and we'll get some heavier bands at times, but you can see here at 2:30 in the afternoon, widespread snow showers through our northern and central mountains, snow mainly along I-25. You get out to about Fort Morgan, so past Deer Trail, and that's where it's more of a rain-snow mix. That will continue off and on through the day. We will see that snow even into Wednesday morning, I should say. It'll be light here for the Denver area, heavier for our friends down to our south around Walsenburg and Trinidad, the San Luis Valley, and then rain-snow mix again through far southeast Colorado. This system won't be done with until Wednesday late in the afternoon or even Wednesday in the evening. And notice how at 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, we also have a lot of clouds. We are anticipating cold temperatures under that cloud cover. In fact, highs in the 30s for both Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll put an asterisk by Tuesday, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. Now, a lot of this snow, since it's been 90 plus, even 101 degrees on Saturday, a lot of the snow, when it hits the pavement, is going to melt. Even some of the grassy areas initially, it will melt. But as you saw, we are going to see pretty consistent snow showers through the day on Tuesday. So we're looking at some accumulation. And right now, it does look like 2 to 6 inches of snow, mainly on grassy surfaces, will fall near the metro area. You get up around Fort Collins and Greeley, you're going to be on the lighter end of that scale. Down near the Palmer Divide, so where we start to get a little higher up in elevation over Castle Rock through Douglas and Elbert County, 6 to 10 inches of snow will be possible there. And then on up into the foothills, we also see those amounts ramp up, 8 to 14 inches of snow possible from our foothills on up to the Continental Divide. And those aren't the only areas that will see the snow. We're also going to get some snow west of Vail Pass, 2 to 6 inches of snow there, so it'll be lighter. And then down across our southwest San Juans, 10 to 20 inches of snow will be possible. We do have winter storm warnings in effect in those locations. Along parts of the Sangre de Cristos, the Wet Mountains, we're looking at 10 to 15 inches of snow. Alamosa and the San Luis Valley, up to 7 inches generally expected. I put you in the 4 to 8 inch range there. But this is a system that will be widespread, impacting most of us here across Colorado. The areas that are in red, those winter storm warnings, will also see some wind coupled with the snow. That will create some poor visibility and some dangerous driving conditions for folks who are headed up into the mountains. So we really do need to be mindful of that. Now, temperatures. I said I put that asterisk by Tuesday because we're going to drop to the middle and upper 40s around midnight tonight. Cold front moves through, temperatures continue to drop. So I think we hit our high early Tuesday, around midnight Tuesday morning, and then we'll fall to daytime temperatures in the 30s through Tuesday afternoon. Since we will be at or just above freezing, that snow will be a heavy, wet snow that falls. And it does get much lighter early Wednesday, but Wednesday, we are going to see temperatures fall even further to the upper 20s and low 30s, so hard freeze is possible. This is why throughout this morning, we were talking about protecting your plants, do what you can to protect what you need to that's outside, be it your sprinkler system, some of those sensitive plants, so you don't lose everything from this one system that's a little bit of a blip here, right? We're going to see a very big cool off. It is a massive system moving through. But it lasts 2 days, and after that, we will steadily warm up. In fact, we've got highs in the 70s and close to 80 degrees come Saturday and Sunday. So we do pull out of this, and we will see more seasonal temperatures take over, but a very big cold snap is headed this way. All right, I'm going to put this back on our forecast for snow. Let you guys take a look at that, because I'm sure we've got a million questions about how much snow will I see here. So I'll let you kind of take a look at those general areas, and I'm going to go through some of the comments and see what we've got. Okay, give me just a minute. David asks a very good question. How often does this drastic change in temperature occur? Is it rather rare? So we have seen big temperature swings here in Colorado. A temperature swing like this one in September doesn't usually happen that often. But we're certainly, I haven't checked the exact statistics on this temperature swing. I don't think it's going to be the largest one we've ever seen, but it is a big one for September. So yeah, this time of year, I would call it rare. We haven't seen measurable snow in the month of September since September 24th of 2000. So 20 years ago, that was when we saw our first snow of the season. And for the last 5 years, our first measurable snow of the season has come either in October or November. So this is unusual for us here, at least within the recent past. Okay. Jimmy asks also another good question. Why are snow totals so up and down? You've heard a couple of different things. So that has to do with how close this system is and how it's been interacting with land. It wasn't even showing up on North American maps until Sunday, so yesterday. And it is now starting to dive pretty quickly to the south. The closer it gets, the better idea and the more fine-tuning that we can do with this forecast. But there is going to be some adjustments being made. So when we give you some of these numbers, early like this, you can look at it and have an idea on how you need to prepare for your day, but still expect some tweaks to happen between even now and tomorrow morning. We've got various weather models that run through that give us an idea on how much snow we could see, and they vary from run to run. So the folks out at the National Weather Service in Boulder, we do here at 9 News, we look at all of that information and we try and make our best forecast that we can based off of what we are seeing. And conditions with this system may change as it shifts either a little further to the west or to the east or slows down. And that's why we make those adjustments in the forecast. Even how much cold air arrives is really going to make a big difference in how much snow you see. Colder systems produce lighter snow and deeper snow. Warmer systems, that snow is heavier and it has a tendency more to be slushy and melt pretty quickly as soon as it hits the ground. So we make a lot of adjustments based on those things too, and that's why those numbers change. Okay. Okay, so to give you an idea, again, let's go over timing because I'm seeing a couple questions here as far as timing goes. We'll go back to this map here. I've got this clock set at 9 o'clock tonight because quite honestly, nothing's really going to happen up until then. So at 9 o'clock tonight, most of our showers are going to be to our north of Colorado, across southeastern Wyoming and through the panhandle of Nebraska. And it does start as rain first because that leading edge of the moisture is going to be just a little bit ahead of some of the freezing temperatures. So we've got rain first, right? I'll slow that down. 10:30, looks like some of it's heading into northern Colorado. 11, we start to see more widespread, so I would say scattered rain shower activity in northern Colorado. Even possibly some light rain here over Denver, although I think some of the heavier stuff for us arrives closer to midnight. That's when we start to see some of those yellows and oranges make their way closer to the Denver metro area. And you can see, take a look and find where you are on the map. And you can see where some of the more intense rain will be at that time for you. Now we start to fast forward more. That colder air really starts to sink in after midnight. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we certainly start to see some snow over our foothills. Takes a little longer for it to reach the metro area, but certainly a mix is possible around 3 with snow over Fort Collins and a mix over Greeley at that point. And then between 4 and 5, we will see that all change over to that heavy wet snow here for the Front Range. That being said, if you're out near Deer Trail, Lyman, Fort Morgan, Ray, Burlington, Julesburg, Holyoke, rain for a good period of time for you before that changes over to even just a rain-snow mix, which you will see a rain-snow mix through most of the day. This particular model run is going to paint snow over your area. I think it's going to be more of a rain-snow mix for you, but certainly snow a bit more likely through Fort Collins along I-25 south to Denver into Colorado Springs. Once we get past 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, that snow becomes even more widespread through southern parts of our state. That's when it shifts even further to the south. I've got the clock stopped here at 3:30, and you can see scattered snow over our northern central and parts of our southern mountains, rain-snow mix over the San Luis Valley, snow, of course, here for the Front Range, rain-snow mix for our friends out on the eastern plains, and even some showers in far southeast Colorado. And that continues as this system slowly moves to the east. It's a big cutoff low. And what that means is it's being less driven, so it won't move as quickly to the east by the jet stream. Sometimes they have a tendency to float a little bit before they get pushed out. So this is going to take through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening to get it to completely clear. And that cold air is still going to be in place for us Wednesday. Highs are still going to be in the upper 30s. And we'll see a chance for snow mostly in the morning. But if you're out on our eastern plains, you'll see that rain-snow mix into the afternoon and evening. And the same goes for southern and southeastern Colorado. Okay. And we are really hoping, I'm sorry, I'm also reading some posts, from the National Weather Service. We are looking at this having a significant impact on some of the wildfires that are burning. This moisture will be really good for firefighters who are trying to battle that. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the snow forecast. And I'm going to go through some more of these questions before I start to wrap this up a little bit. All right, Tiffany says, Franktown, why is it never on the map? One, because sometimes some of these words take up a lot of space, but two, we do get them to auto-generate. So to all my friends in Franktown, and we do have some very close friends of my family that also live there, I apologize. But you guys are likely going to be closer to Parker's range, and Parker's on the northern edge of that 6 to 10 inch range for snow. So you get to between Highlands Ranch and Parker, and that's when we start to see some of those snow forecasts shift to the higher amounts. As you're starting to climb up in elevation, you're getting a little bit closer to the Palmer Divide. I appreciate my friends on here responding to the post about Greeley, which I'm not going to address, except for just like that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just being a little bit quiet while I kind of go through these questions, make sure that I can cover everything for you guys. Is the smoke contributing to the crazy weather change? Not to my knowledge. It is not. It is not having, there's no studies that have been done on it to my knowledge, but it is not having a huge impact on this cold front that's moving through or the jet stream that we are seeing. At least not that we know of at this point. Now, if they do other studies down the road that show something different, then great. But as far as I have seen, there hasn't been any data to suggest that it is having an impact on this huge weather shift. Okay. Some folks are asking about exercising outside today here. So we'll go back to this graphic. I would, if it's me, and I'm probably planning to get my workout done inside today. And even then, you're probably still going to feel the effects of the smoke that's outside. I would just really limit my activity. The air quality will be unhealthy for all of us at times today. Visibility extremely poor. You know your body better than anyone else. I know I'm pretty sensitive to the smoke, even just being outside and walking around. So it's likely I'm not going to go outside and get a workout in outdoors today. But I would really, if you can, try and limit your outdoor activity. That smoke is bad. Here's a picture of it from Horsetooth again. Right, it's making that picture look orange. Although I'd like to, here, let's also take a look at Loveland ski area. And it's very hazy up towards the Continental Divide. So it's pretty thick out there this morning and into this afternoon. And I don't know if I honestly don't know if this will put out the fires completely. I'll be honest with you guys. It's a significant amount of moisture that we are looking at, but I don't know if it will. I don't know enough about how those fires are burning, how they burn in reaction to some of this rain and snow it's moving through. I know that they're really looking forward to this moisture, and this is a good thing for those fires and those firefighters, but I don't know if it will put out the fire completely. Somebody also asked, Jacob asked, will this be enough of a cold snap to have any effect on the mountain pine beetle? Also a great question. I don't know enough about the pine beetles to know if this will kill them off. Okay. Chris, Becky, I hope you don't get any random forest creatures in your garage because of this. Me too, Chris. I've had enough of the wild animals in my home. I like to observe them outside of where I live, not inside. All right.
Yeah, we definitely have some. We'd like to get Cherry Creek and Jackdaw.
So I'm going to go, before I wrap this up, yeah, the wind preceding the snow will not help the fires. However, once the snow and the rain moves in, that will. All right, so let's go through the timing of this one more time. Here we go. Because I have some people, my face is right over the four corners where people were asking that question. I think it goes away in a minute. All right, so we'll start. Northern Colorado at 9 o'clock tonight, we are looking at just a couple clouds. And then you fast forward to about 10, 11, and that's when rain starts to move in. I think these showers are going to be pretty isolated at this time. They'll become much more scattered the further that we get into the morning. For example, midnight, more scattered showers possible. At that point, they'll sink far enough south to reach the Denver metro area. We'll also get some shower activity out east on I-70 along the plains, stretching out to Burlington, but still rain at that point. Snow starts to edge into our northern foothills, approaching the Red Feather Lakes at about 12:30, and see how it starts to get stretched even further down at about 1:30, 2 o'clock into the foothills west of the metro area, but still rain snow mix at that point here for Denver, and then all over to snow likely around 4 o'clock in the morning. So before you all wake up, hopefully, this will change all over to snow. And I say hopefully because getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning is difficult for me. For folks who don't have to get up until, a little bit later, I would imagine you wouldn't want to be up between 3 and 4. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, we'll also have rain out in northeastern Colorado, still southwest parts of the state where this picture is dry. Okay, that's early tomorrow morning. Mountain areas in our central mountains, generally west of the Continental Divide, dry. And then 8 o'clock in the morning, southwest Colorado still dry. San Luis Valley still dry. We'll have more shower activity encroaching on our northern mountains. And that'll work its way into Aspen by about 1:30. Again, here, southwest Colorado still dry. Might start to see a little bit of rain activity at 1:30 in the afternoon in the San Luis Valley. Southeast parts of our state, an isolated shower or two. There. Oh, good. My face disappeared. Okay. Four Corners, it doesn't look like you're going to get a lot of moisture from this. So some of this is going to stay to your east. I would say at best you get an isolated shower or storm, with most of the activity staying in those mountain area, northern and central mountain areas, and then from Vail Pass to the east. Here, now we get to Wednesday morning, and some of that moisture might move a little bit closer to Durango. And then some isolated showers through the Four Corners region, possible again Wednesday afternoon. And maybe you do get a little bit more rain through Wednesday night, but it does not look like this is going to be a significant rain event down around the Four Corners. Miguel, can you please clarify what you're asking for? This is what I have for air quality. Is this what you're talking about? The air quality forecast, or do you want the specific numbers? Because I can try and look those up for you really quickly. But what I generally do, and I can tell you guys too, if you want specific air quality numbers throughout the day and you want to check up for them on yourselves, is you can get on and you can search for Denver air quality through Google or your search engine of choice. And it will show up the forecast through the CDPHE, so the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment will give you all of that information, and they list a lot of the different reporting areas that you have, and it'll tell you what the air quality is currently at those places. So then you can tell where it is worse compared to where you are. Okay, so Miguel, you already know how to do that, or you would like me to do that for you? I'm still curious, because the forecast that I'm giving for everyone is, according to the CDPHE, air quality will be unhealthy at times across the Front Range. Visibility extremely poor, and we have an action day alert in effect for particulates here across the Front Range and for wildfire smoke a little bit further to the west. And that's what this map looks like. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to get into like a long thing about air quality. Generally because we're here talking a little bit more about the storm. But I do think it's important for folks who are even every day out there, you need to go on, and if you go into the site and look up the air quality index, because this is going to be playing throughout the day, and I don't want to give numbers that people can for right now for air quality. I just want to give what the forecast is calling for and what they're saying from the CDPHE for air quality, and that it will be unhealthy at times for folks across the Front Range. So I would definitely suggest that a lot of you, if you want to figure out what the air quality is like in your area, that you can go on and you can search for Denver air quality and you can see those numbers. And if you are generally in the red, that is an unhealthy number for that, for where you are. Okay. So let's go back to, people want to see the timing of that. Thursday morning, let's see here. We are not looking at snow Thursday morning, but it will be cold. So So here is this forecast again really quickly. For Tuesday, for tomorrow, we're going to see those temperatures falling into the middle and upper 40s. That'll be tonight, and that'll be at 11:59. That'll be the low for today. That will happen at 11:59. And then at midnight, that'll be the high for tomorrow, because temperatures will continue to fall into the 30s through tomorrow afternoon. Wednesday, hard freeze possible in the morning. We are going to bounce right back up to the middle and upper 30s, which really isn't that much of a bounce back Wednesday afternoon, so it will still be chilly. And then on Thursday, below freezing temperatures possible again early Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, we have a chance for an isolated rain shower. Partly cloudy skies, highs in the middle 50s, so we will start to climb out of this. And then once we get into the weekend, we will warm more significantly back up. But that's what the next couple of days looks like. And one last time before I sign off here for everyone, here is a look at your front range snow totals, potentially, based off the forecast now, for Tuesday into early Wednesday morning. Most of the snow is accumulating in Denver on grassy surfaces, okay? It melts as it hits the pavement. Now you get further to the south and further to the west, and we may start to see some of that snow accumulate on the pavement and create some icier conditions. But here in town, we're expecting mainly wet roads and a heavy wet snow because our temperatures will be in the lower to middle 30s. Okay. So I hope that helps everyone out right now. We're going to continue to update this forecast. These numbers may even still change as different model runs come in tonight. But we will definitely be keeping 9news.com and the web story updated. I know I've got a pretty detailed look at the timing and everything, along with the wind gusts, because don't forget about that. Strong wind gusts tonight ahead of the front. So wind gusts, timing of the cold air, so the timing of some of the rain and the snow, and then, of course, temperatures moving forward. We're going to keep that all updated for you on 9news.com, and I will see you guys early tomorrow morning. So I hope that you stay safe today. I hope you certainly stay safe tomorrow, and enjoy this early season snow. Bye, guys.
Becky, did I hear you wrap things up?
Yes.
Would it be possible to get, I think you've already got one of those things up